How you doing? My name is JP Biambi, and I'm with Merchant Advisory Services. Today, I have a new associate that is going to be helping me do some phone prospecting, and she's been learning how to give her elevator pitch to people over the phone when she does her prospecting, kind of like telemarketing, since she's like working remote. And she has some questions that she want to ask me, and I want to give her some tips about how she can, improve her telemarketing or her phone prospecting. So I'm going to bring her on and let her ask me some questions, and hopefully everyone else out there can kind of learn from this as well. Hey, Kent, how you doing? So what was your question again?
What are the objections that you hear the most from the clients, from the owners? Yeah.
That is a great question, and I'm glad you asked me that, because the most common objection that I hear from a business owner or merchant is always not interested. This is the most common knee-jerk reaction that you're going to hear from anybody. One version of it that I hear nowadays is people will say, no, we're good, we're fine, we don't need it. We're good, we're fine. That's the new one they say now. Instead of saying not interested, because not interested, it sounds getting repetitive, but the new thing everybody says instead of saying not interested is, no, we're fine, we don't need it.
Yes.
To me, it's equal to not interested. Not interested is just a nice way of saying it. No, we're fine, we don't need it. It's the same thing. And so this is the most common objection, and everyone's giving you that because they think or they just feel like it's the easiest way to get rid of you and blow you off because they haven't really given you a chance yet. Most of the times, they've said that before I've even had a chance to even say anything. So,
oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Is it okay if we could ask, why aren't they interested?
Exactly. Well, that's exactly what you call a rebuttal. That's a response that you can have if they say that. Say, well,
so is it fine? We can ask like that?
Yes. Ask. You can phrase your response or your rebuttal in the form of a question and ask them why. Why are you not interested? What are you not interested in? How come you're not interested?
And then if they answer because we're not interested.
I understand that, but always turn it around and make it into a question. You could even turn it around if you want to be more specific. You could say, well, if I were to show you a way that your business could grow and make more money and save more money, would you be interested then? Basically, what you want to do is whenever they say that, turn around and try to give them a response, or what we call a rebuttal, that asks them a question that makes them, or that is curious enough to make them want to give you an answer. Basically, a question that shows you're curious, that's going to make them want to give you the answer. So
if I already asked them a question and then they still reply something that they don't really want it, I will read the objection, here in that trick.
That's the trick nowadays. The trick nowadays is don't waste too much time on your phone prospecting. The idea is to just gauge the person's temperature. You don't want to spend a lot of time wasting your time or their time giving somebody a lot of rebuttals to the objections. If they give you one objection, hey, I'm not interested, we're fine, we don't need it. Give them one or two rebuttals to let them know that you're persistent and that you have a good reason. But don't spend too much time giving them rebuttal after rebuttal after rebuttal, because the idea is to figure out and check their temperature. See if they're interested. See if they have some kind of need. If not, they will give you two objections. By the third objection, no need to continue what they say is beating a dead horse. Just move on, because the idea is to just quickly check, is this person somebody I can talk to? Are they interested or not? Do they have a need for what we have or not? And then move on. And then a lot of it is also just checking, do we have the right information? Do we have the right place? Do they take credit cards? And then by that point, if you feel that person engages with you or expresses any interest, or at least asks you a question in return or answers your question in return to you asking the question, it lets you know you can continue. But if they give you two objections in a row, by the third time, my recommendation is to end the call and move on. Thank them politely, say thanks for your time, I appreciate it, and then you move on. Don't spend too much time trying to convince somebody with a bunch of rebuttals, because the idea is to just check their temperature. See if it's somebody you want to call back in the future. See if it's somebody we can help. And that's what the whole idea of a phone prospecting call is. It's not to convince them and sell them on that first call.
Yes. Okay.
It's just to check their temperature.
You already answered my question, because the next question I was about to ask is, how many objections should I handle before ending the call?
2.
And you mentioned
two.
2 or 3.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Let me say this. 10 years ago, when I first started doing this, that was the standard. Give them 3. And I would try to go to 5. Because I said, no, I'm not going to give up that easy. I'm going to keep going to 5. Yes. The common thing nowadays is what I say, do less, get through more people, and you're going to find the right person for you faster. Give them 2 objections at best. If you go to 3, that means you're doing extra. But definitely hard. I'm making sure you understand what I have. After that, just say thanks for your time. Move on. Yeah. What other questions do you have for me? Because this is good. I like this. This is fun. I really wish more people would pick my brain and take what I have already learned and then use it in their own in their own process. Hopefully you can take what I've learned and make it better.
Yeah. And I just noticed also, while studying the objections earlier, I just noticed that all of the there's a transition, right? Should I really have to say it, the transition script, or
no?
Can I just continue my?
Yes, you can continue the script.
Yeah.
Yes, the transition is just to remind you that you want to continue going in the script.
Yes. Okay.
But you got it. I think that you're kind of smart enough where you're learning to say less and just get to the point.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing when you're phone prospecting. Get right to the point.
Okay, I understand it now better. So I just want to know what are the other things that I shouldn't say, or should I be careful of?
Okay, never get defensive, and don't ever say anything to get impolite or be rude. Always try to be kind and always try to be nice. Even if they say something that kind of is not nice, just you be kind. And if you want, the best thing is just end the call and say, hey, apologize for interrupting. Didn't mean to interrupt you. And then you just move on with the call. So one of the things is just don't get offended. Don't take it personal. Just realize you're trying to do your job. And one of the things that you should never do is don't lie. Don't tell them something that's not true. Not sure if you know the answer, but if you don't, say, hey, listen, that's a great question. Let me write that down and I'll get back to you. What's the phone number? What's the email I can get back to you? Use that as an opportunity to make the next connection. Don't overstep that moment and then say something that you might regret where, hey, I told him, this price when it really was a different price, or, just don't say something that you might regret later. And one of those things could be like a lie or something that's not true. So just avoid those things, be honest, be yourself. And then if you have something that you're not sure of and you get into a situation where I'm not sure, it's always okay to say, hey, that's a good question. Let me write that down real quick and I'll get back to you. What's the number or email I can get back to you? And then you ask them, when's a good time I can call you back? So you're basically setting yourself up for that next time you can call them to build that relationship even more. That's a great segue if you're phone prospecting to turn that prospect into a warm lead, because now they have a reason to hear back from you, and now you can continue that process as if now I got a warm lead. I can continue calling him and he's going to keep taking my call, or he's going to keep emailing me back. That's the great way to segue into turning your call into a warm lead. Got it? Because that's the idea. The idea is on this call is to try to find a way to make it so that you can start emailing them back and forth and they can call you back and forth. That's the idea. Because now you're turning them into what we call a warm lead in your pipeline, and you can now talk to them and they will respond to you and you can now help them. Simple. It's simple, but it's like psychology. And when you're building a relationship with somebody, you kind of have to know when you have to shift gears a little bit and turn the call into giving them some service and giving them personal attention about the things they want, because then they're going to realize, oh, wow, I'm going to talk to her because she knows what I want. She knows what I like. She's listening to me and she hears what is important to me. And then they will start talking to you. But otherwise, nobody has a reason to want to talk to you if you don't know them, you don't know what they like, they've never spoken to you before, you've never trusted them, they have no idea what you need. You got me? So that's what a pushy salesman does, is calls you right away in the first call and tries to find that out. We want to get to know them first, then we'll do that next step where we find a way to help them once we know them a little better.
I just want to also ask about because you mentioned that be polite, right? And
yes.
be friendly. So I'm not sure because how I speak it, how I say it, like hearing the objection, how did you get my number? I said, it's my job. I know everything.
I love it.
Sounds like, does it,
it sounds fine. You just have to talk a little slower. You have to talk a little slower and smile so it sounds like a joke. It sounds like you're having fun. It sounds like it's fun. You want to be having fun, right? So make it sound like it's light. Hey, yeah, no, I know everything. It's my job. Haha. And then continue on with your script because it lets them know she's having fun. This is a joke, right? Because that's a silly question. Your number is online if I want to call and get pizza, right? It should be there. It's on Yelp. So it doesn't matter, but you're just letting them know, hey, I'm being fun. I'm enjoying myself to make you laugh. Always try to crack a joke when your phone's prospecting. It breaks the ice.
Okay, so I will also try to sound friendly and funny.
Yeah.
Sound like
sarcastic, exactly. Right? Yeah, exactly. Don't sound sarcastic. Don't sound salesy. Don't sound professional. Sound funny, having fun. Oh, we're just making a joke so that way they can feel like, okay, it's all right. She's fun, right? Instead of, being a sale.
Yeah. Okay, so it's really also important the tone of the voice and the words that's coming out.
Oh, absolutely. Because they're not in front of you. So you have to have your tone of voice over the phone come across so that they kind of feel like, oh yeah, she's having fun. It's okay. And then once you get them laughing, that means they're comfortable. That means their defenses are going to be down.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So
that's great. Thank you.
Yeah. So try that. Maybe when you're phone prospecting, try to break the ice. Get them to smile. Get them to laugh. Say something that maybe they like, that they might like.
I'm just I'm just curious about your hardest call or hardest objection that you overcome.
Man, the hardest objection is when somebody says, hey, we've been with that person for a long time and we're loyal to them. That's one of the hardest objections I don't know how to deal with because they don't want to change, but they've been with somebody for so long. So it's like, hey, listen, the best thing I tell them is, hey, I'll be here when you're ready and you need an alternative. And that's the best thing I can do. But it's difficult for me because I don't know what to say to that except, hey, we have an alternative for you. But that person has a valid reason because if they were with me, I wouldn't want them to switch either. I would want them to be loyal to me and say, no, I'm not switching. I've been with that person a long time. I'm staying. So I don't want to be the person to make them cheat and then make them feel like, yeah, if I leave my person, then when you're with me, I'll just leave you. That's the idea, is that I don't want them to feel like, hey, if I just steal you from your cousin, then you'll just leave me when the next guy comes along. So usually when that happens, that's a difficult me to deal with because even if if I do convince them to work with me after they were with somebody else, it signals the fact that they might come to the next person that offers them something better than I have, right? So, yeah, we want to kind of.
We can also say like, just listen. You can listen to what we can offer, and you can decide afterwards.
Exactly, right? Exactly, yeah. And usually what I like, that's exactly what you can do. Another good one is to say, hey, that's fine. Let me just keep in touch with you. And hopefully in the future, after you get to know me, we'll see if there's an opportunity where we can help you sometimes. So that's like saying, hey, we'll leave it open in case an opportunity comes. And that's the kind of selling or consultative approach I take, is that I like to make sure that people just first know what I could do for them. And then when it makes sense, that we can discuss it at that time, which is exactly what you said. Let me give you the information. Let me send it to you. And then you can decide after.
Yeah.
That's a great way to handle it. That's a great. That's a great way to handle any objection. Sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Is it the same when the objection that I tried that before? So I could say we are different.
Yes.
You can just try it. Right?
Yeah. You have this. If somebody says that I've tried that before, you say, well, how could you? Because we have is brand new.
Okay.
You could have. You say you may have tried something else before, but not what we have because we're new. You haven't tried us before.
Yes, and I think
they haven't tried. Yeah, you can always say that. You can say you haven't tried us before. How have you tried us? Because we're new, and everything we're offering you is new. That's not there before. Okay. And then you could ask them, what have you tried before, and what didn't you like? What didn't you like about it?
Yes, you ask questions so that you can build connection. Yeah. And at the time they will answer it and they will think that you are interested to them too, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
We all know the reality of poor customer service. It doesn't have to be this way, trust me. Are you a business owner? Are you fed up with no phone support and those endless email threads? Say goodbye to frustrating customer support with Merchant Advisory Services. Imagine having a dedicated account representative just for you, ready to help whenever you need, with expert tech support at your fingertips. No more waiting, no more headaches. We understand your time is valuable. Time is money, right? And your business deserves the best. With our personalized customer service, we make your life easier. Want to learn more? Visit merchantadvisoryservices.com or call or text 646-780-0802. Merchant Advisory Services simplifies payments.